Good morning. Let me start with a question. What are you waiting for? You've been sitting on your dreams, your goals, your potential for far too long. You keep telling yourself tomorrow, next week, next year. But let me tell you something, everything can change in one day. The day you decide it's time to stop waiting and start moving. See, most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're unwilling. They're unwilling to make today the day. The truth is, you don't need perfect timing, perfect resources, or perfect conditions to start. What you need is a decision. Think about this your whole life. Every opportunity, every dream that slipped away, it's not because life cheated you. It's because you didn't own your day. You didn't step up and say, enough is enough. But here's the good news that can change today. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who was tired of being broke, tired of struggling, tired of looking at his family and feeling like he wasn't enough. One day, just one day, he got up, looked in the mirror, and said, this is it. This is my day. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. He didn't wait for someone to save him. He made a decision to be the hero of his own life. And you know what happened? Everything changed. Not because the world suddenly became easier, not because opportunities magically appeared, but because his mindset shifted, his energy shifted, he shifted. The same is true for you. You've got the power to rewrite your story, and it doesn't take a year or a month, it takes one day. The day you wake up and say, I'm done making excuses, I'm done playing small, I'm done being average. Listen, today is not just another day. It's the day. The day you finally commit to the life you've been dreaming about. You've got 24 hours, 1,440 minutes to change the direction of your life. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to waste it scrolling on your phone, watching other people live their dreams? Or are you going to put in the work, push through the pain, and take what's yours? Because let me tell you this, the difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't as big as you think. It's a single decision, a single action, a single day of saying no more excuses. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the stars to align. The moment you decide to act is the moment you unlock your potential. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it's worth it. Because every step you take today is a step closer to the life you've always wanted. So I challenge you, let today be the day. The day you take control of your habits, the day you crush your fears, the day you stop talking about what you're going to do and actually do it. You can change everything in one day. Not because the world changes, but because you change. Your future is waiting. Your best self is waiting. Make the decision, take the action, and let today be the first day of the rest of your extraordinary life. Now get out there and make it happen. Every great transformation begins with a single decision. Think about that for a moment. Every success story, every breakthrough, every moment that altered the course of someone's life started when they decided that things had to change. Decisions can shape destiny because they are the foundation of all action. They determine the direction in which your life moves. Without a firm decision, there's no commitment, no focus, and no real movement forward. A decision is not just a thought, it's a declaration. It's planting a flag in the ground and saying, this is where I'm going, no matter what. The power of decision is often underestimated. We go through life thinking we're victims of circumstance, blaming everything from bad luck to lack of resources for our situation. But the truth is, it's not the external factors holding us back, it's our indecision. When you fail to decide, you choose by default to stay exactly where you are. Indecision is a decision, and it's a decision to remain stagnant. To truly change your life, you must recognize the power you have to shape your future, and it all begins with one choice. This is why decisions are so powerful, they force you to clarify what you want. Too many people drift through life without a clear sense of purpose, reacting to whatever comes their way instead of intentionally creating the life they desire. A real decision is different. A real decision brings focus. It sharpens your mind and directs your energy toward a specific goal. It's not a vague wish or a passing thought. It's a moment of clarity when you say, this is it. This is what I want, and I won't settle for less. When you make a decision, you trigger a chain reaction. Your thoughts align with your decision, your emotions follow, and your actions start to shift. It's as if the universe begins to rearrange itself to support your choice. But here's the catch: the decision must be real. It must be non-negotiable. It's not enough to say, I'll try or hope this works. You must commit fully, with no room for doubt or hesitation. Half-hearted decisions lead to half-hearted results. If you want to see true change, your decision must be absolute. This level of commitment is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Successful people make decisions quickly and stick to them. They don't waver or second-guess themselves at every turn. They understand that indecision is the enemy of progress. Every moment spent in indecision is a moment lost, a moment that could have been used to take action, learn, and grow. On the other hand, once a decision is made, it's as if a burden is lifted. You no longer waste energy wondering what to do because you've already chosen your path. All that's left is to walk it. The beauty of a decision is that it gives you control. No matter how chaotic or unpredictable life may seem, you always have the power to decide how you will respond. This is where your true strength lies, not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering your internal choices. When you decide to take control of your life, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the creator of your destiny. It's a liberating realization because it means your future is not determined by where you started or what you've been through. It's determined by the choices you make today. A single decision can change everything. It can break the chains of a bad habit, ignite a new passion, or set you on a completely different path. Think about the moments in history that have altered the course of humanity. Every one of them began with a decision. Someone, somewhere, decided to take a stand to pursue a dream or to challenge the status quo. The same principle applies to your life. You don't need a grand gesture or a perfect plan to start changing your life. You just need a moment of courage to make a decision that aligns with the future you want. The biggest obstacle to making decisions is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong choice. But let me ask you this: what's worse, failing because you tried, or staying stuck because you never took a chance? The truth is, failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. Every failure teaches you something valuable, something that brings you closer to success. But you can't learn those lessons or experience those breakthroughs if you never decide to take the first step. Fear will always be there, but you can't let it paralyze you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite it. Another challenge is the illusion of waiting for the right time. People delay making decisions because they think the conditions aren't perfect. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more money, more time, or more experience. But the truth is, there's never a perfect time. Waiting for the right moment is just another form of procrastination. The best time to make a decision is always now. The moment you decide to act, you begin to create the conditions you need to succeed. Action brings clarity. It's through movement, not waiting, that you discover what works and what doesn't. Making a decision also requires you to take responsibility. When you decide to change your life, you can't blame anyone else for where you are or where you're going. This level of accountability can be intimidating, but it's also empowering. Taking responsibility means you acknowledge your role in shaping your future. It means you stop looking for someone to save you and start relying on yourself. This doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. There's nothing wrong with seeking help or guidance, but it does mean you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your life. Every day is filled with opportunities to make decisions that move you closer to your goals. They don't have to be huge, life-altering choices. Sometimes it's the small, consistent decisions that make the biggest difference over time. Deciding to wake up an hour earlier, to eat healthier, to spend time learning a new skill, these choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they add up. Each small decision is a brick, and when you stack them together, they build the foundation for a better future. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. When you look back on your life, the most pivotal moments will be the times when you made a decision to change, whether it was deciding to leave a toxic situation, to pursue a new career, or to commit to a healthier lifestyle. Those moments of decision are the turning points. They're the moments when you took control and said, I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve. Those are the moments when your life began to shift in a new direction. The power to change your life is already within you. It's not something you have to find or earn, it's something you have to claim. It starts with a decision. It starts with you saying, I'm done waiting, I'm done hesitating, I'm ready to take control. When you make that choice, you unlock a level of potential you didn't even know you had. You discover strength, resilience, and creativity that have been lying dormant, waiting for you to activate them. All it takes is one decision to set the wheels in motion. Stop waiting for perfect conditions because they don't exist. One of the greatest lies we tell ourselves is that we'll start when the timing is right, when we have more resources, or when circumstances align in our favor. This mindset is a trap, a form of self-sabotage that keeps us stuck in a perpetual state of waiting. Life is unpredictable, and conditions are rarely, if ever, ideal. Waiting for perfection is simply an excuse to avoid action, to delay stepping into the unknown where growth happens. If you want to change your life, you have to start now with what you have, exactly where you are. The belief that you need perfect conditions to begin is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. It's easier to convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment than to confront the possibility of falling short. But here's the truth, no one who has achieved greatness started under perfect conditions. They started messy, uncertain, and scared, but they started. They didn't wait for everything to align, they aligned themselves with their goals and figured it out along the way. Waiting for perfect conditions is not just a delay, it's a denial of your potential. Perfection is a myth. It's a standard that doesn't exist in the real world, yet so many people hold themselves back because they feel they're not ready or that their circumstances aren't good enough. They wait for more money, more time, more knowledge, more confidence. But the reality is, readiness comes through action, not preparation. You don't need to be perfect to start, you just need to be willing. Willing to take a step, to make a move, to risk imperfection in pursuit of progress. The act of starting creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. You'll learn and grow as you go, but none of that can happen if you don't begin. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for everything to be just right before they took action. They started with what they had, even if it wasn't much. They embraced the uncertainty, knowing that progress, not perfection, was the goal.
Every expert was once a beginner. Every master once fumbled through their first attempts. They didn't wait until they had all the answers. They started asking questions and searching for solutions.
They understood that action precedes clarity and that waiting for perfect conditions is simply another way of avoiding the hard work and discomfort that come with growth. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions, you open yourself up to possibilities. You begin to see that what you thought were obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. The lack of resources forces you to be creative. The limited time pushes you to prioritize what truly matters. The uncertainty challenges you to trust yourself and take risks. These are the conditions under which growth and innovation thrive. If everything were perfect, there would be no need for resilience, no reason to adapt, no motivation to strive for something greater. Imperfection is not a hindrance, it's a catalyst. Starting before you're ready is a skill that can change your life. It's about embracing imperfection and stepping into the unknown with courage and determination. It's about taking the first step, even when you don't have the whole path mapped out. Because here's the thing, the path will reveal itself as you walk it. You don't need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. You don't need to have all the answers to begin. What you need is the willingness to move forward, to take action, to start building momentum even in the face of uncertainty. Think about how much time and energy are wasted waiting for the right moment. Every day that you wait is a day you could have used to make progress. It's a day you could have used to learn, to grow, to move closer to your goals. The time will pass regardless of whether you take action or not. A year from now, you'll either look back and see how far you've come or regret how much time you wasted waiting for conditions to improve. The choice is yours. Time is the most precious resource you have, and every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. Perfectionism often disguises itself as a desire to do things well, but in reality, it's a form of procrastination. It's a way of avoiding the vulnerability and uncertainty that come with taking action. When you let go of the need for perfection, you free yourself to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to grow. Mistakes are not failures, they are feedback. They are opportunities to refine your approach and get better. But you can't make mistakes and you can't learn from them if you don't take the first step. Progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. Taking action in imperfect conditions also builds confidence. Confidence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready, it comes from doing. Each step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, reinforces the belief that you are capable. With every action, you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges, adapt to setbacks, and keep moving forward. Confidence is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. If you wait until you feel confident to start, you'll be waiting forever. But when you start, despite your doubts, you'll discover a strength and resilience within you that you didn't know you had. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions, you take control of your life. You stop being a passive participant and start being an active creator. You realize that you don't need ideal circumstances to move forward. You just need a commitment to your goals and a willingness to do the work. This mindset shift is empowering because it puts the responsibility for your success squarely in your hands. It's not about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening within you. When you decide to act despite imperfect conditions, you take ownership of your journey and your future. The world is full of stories of people who achieved extraordinary things despite less than ideal circumstances. These are not people who waited for everything to be just right. They are people who faced challenges head on, who made the best of what they had, and who refused to let imperfect conditions hold them back. They remind us that success is not about having perfect resources or perfect timing. It's about having the courage to start, the resilience to keep going, and the determination to see it through. Their stories are a testament to the power of action and the futility of waiting. The most significant changes in life often happen when we step out of our comfort zones and take action despite the uncertainty. Perfect conditions are comfortable, but they rarely lead to growth. It's the challenges, the imperfections, and the unpredictability that push us to become better, stronger, and more capable. When you embrace this truth, you stop waiting for the stars to align and start creating your own opportunities. You realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is your willingness to take the first step. Perfect conditions are not required, commitment and action are. When you accept that conditions will never be perfect, you give yourself permission to start where you are. You stop comparing yourself to others who seem to have more resources, more experience, or more support. You focus on what you can do with what you have. This shift in perspective is liberating because it removes the pressure to measure up to an impossible standard. It allows you to focus on progress instead of perfection, on growth instead of comparison. It's not about being the best, it's about being better than you were yesterday. And that starts with action. Owning your time means taking full control of every moment you are given, understanding that time is your most valuable resource. Every single day, you are gifted 1,440 minutes, and how you use them determines the trajectory of your life. Time is unique because once it's gone forever. You can make more money, build more connections, or acquire more possessions, but you can never reclaim wasted time. This reality makes it essential to be intentional about how you spend each minute, treating it as the precious and non-renewable asset it truly is. Most people go through life as if they have an unlimited supply of time, spending it on distractions, procrastination, and activities that don't serve their goals. They scroll endlessly on their phones, binge watch shows, or engage in idle gossip, never realizing the cost of these choices. Every minute spent on something that doesn't align with your purpose is a minute you'll never get back. When you fail to own your time, you let it slip through your fingers, lost to activities that bring no value to your life or future. Owning your time is about reclaiming those lost moments and using them with purpose and direction. Owning your time starts with awareness. It requires you to take a hard look at how you currently spend your days and identify the habits, routines, and distractions that are eating away at your time. Many people don't even realize how much time they waste because they've never taken the time to measure it. Hours disappear into social media, TV, or mindless activities, leaving them wondering why they feel so busy yet so unproductive. Awareness is the first step to change. When you become conscious of how you spend your time, you gain the power to redirect it toward things that matter. Once you're aware of where your time is going, the next step is prioritization. Not all activities are created equal. Some will move you closer to your goals, while others will simply fill your day without adding value. Owning your time means identifying your priorities and focusing your energy on the tasks and activities that align with them. It's about knowing what's important and what's not, and being ruthless about cutting out the things that don't serve your purpose. When you own your time, you stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes to what truly matters. To own your time, you must also master the art of planning. A day without a plan is a day left to chance, and chance rarely leads to productivity or progress. Planning your day allows you to take control and decide in advance how you will use your time. It gives you a roadmap to follow, ensuring that you stay on track and don't get sidetracked by distractions or interruptions. Effective planning isn't about filling every moment with activity. It's about being intentional with your time, ensuring that the things you do align with your goals and values. Owning your time requires discipline. It's not enough to have a plan, you must also follow through on it. Discipline is what separates those who make progress from those who remain stuck. It's the ability to stick to your plan even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or difficult. Discipline means saying no to temptations and distractions that threaten to derail your day. It means staying focused on your priorities and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action, and it's essential for owning your time. Another critical aspect of owning your time is learning to set boundaries. Your time is yours, and you have the right to protect it. This means being intentional about who and what you allow into your day. It means saying no to requests, obligations, or activities that don't align with your goals. It means creating boundaries around your work, your personal time, and your energy. When you set boundaries, you send a message that time is valuable and that you won't allow it to be wasted. Boundaries are not about being selfish, they're about being strategic and purposeful with your time. To own your time, you must also understand the importance of focus. Multitasking might seem like a good way to get more done, but it often leads to scattered attention and mediocre results. True productivity comes from focused, deep work. This means dedicating your full attention to one task at a time, eliminating distractions, and immersing yourself in the work. Focus allows you to accomplish more in less time because it taps into the full power of your mind. When you own your time, you prioritize focus and eliminate the clutter that prevents you from doing your best work. Owning your time also involves understanding the power of momentum. Small, consistent actions taken over time can lead to significant results. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about doing a little bit every day and building on it. Momentum creates progress, and progress creates motivation. When you own your time, you focus on taking consistent, intentional steps towards your goals, knowing that each small action adds up. Momentum is a powerful force, but it only works if you're consistent. When you own your time, you commit to showing up every day, no matter how small the effort may seem. One of the biggest challenges to owning your time is overcoming procrastination. Procrastination steals your time, leaving you with a growing list of tasks and a shrinking sense of accomplishment. It's easy to put things off, telling yourself you'll do them later, but later often turns into never. Owning your time means tackling procrastination head-on by breaking tasks into manageable steps, setting deadlines, and holding yourself accountable. It means understanding that action, even imperfect action, is always better than inaction. When you own your time, you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action now. Owning your time also requires you to take care of yourself. Time is only valuable if you have the energy, focus, and health to use it effectively. This means prioritizing self-care, getting enough sleep, eating well, and staying active. It means taking breaks when you need them and giving yourself permission to rest. Owning your time isn't about filling every moment with work, it's about using your time in a way that supports your overall well-being. When you take care of yourself, you have the energy and clarity to make the most of your time. To own your time, you must also embrace flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans can go awry. Owning your time doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a schedule at all costs. It means being adaptable and resilient in the face of changes and challenges. It means knowing how to adjust your plans without losing sight of your priorities. Flexibility allows you to navigate the unexpected while staying focused on your goals. When you own your time, you understand that it's not about perfection, it's about progress and making the best of every moment, even when things don't go as planned. Another important aspect of owning your time is learning from your mistakes. No one is perfect, and there will be days when you lose focus, get distracted, or waste time. Owning your time means taking responsibility for those moments, reflecting on what went wrong, and making changes to improve. It means treating mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as failures. When you own your time, you approach each day with a growth mindset, always looking for ways to be more intentional and effective with your minutes. You understand that progress is a journey, not a destination, and that every step forward counts. Owning your time is a lifelong practice. It's not something you master overnight, but something you work on every day. It requires constant awareness, intention, and effort. It requires you to make choices that align with your goals, even when it's difficult. It requires you to value your time as the precious resource it is, treating it with the respect and care it deserves. When you own your time, you take control of your life, directing it toward the things that matter most. You become the architect of your days, building a life that reflects your priorities, values, and dreams. Excuses are the chains that bind you to mediocrity. They are the stories you tell yourself to justify why you haven't achieved your goals, why you haven't started, or why you've given up. Excuses are convenient, comforting even because they shield you from the discomfort of facing your fears, your failures, and your responsibilities. But while they may offer temporary relief, excuses ultimately hold you back. They keep you stuck in the same place, running in circles, wondering why nothing changes. If you want to change your life, you have to stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your actions and outcomes. An excuse is just a way of avoiding responsibility. It's saying, it's not my fault, or I can't, because instead of admitting that you didn't try, didn't plan, or didn't prioritize. It's easier to blame external circumstances, other people, or even bad luck than to face the truth that you are in control of your choices and your effort. Excuses take away your power because they place the responsibility for your life outside of yourself. They make you a victim of circumstances rather than a creator of opportunities. When you stop making excuses, you reclaim your power and take control of your destiny. Excuses come in many forms. They can be about time, like saying, I don't have enough time, when the truth is you didn't manage your time well. They can be about resources, like claiming, I don't have the money, when the real issue is a lack of creativity or willingness to find solutions. Excuses can also be about abilities, like believing I'm not good enough, when in reality, you haven't put in the effort to improve. Whatever form they take, excuses are nothing more than barriers you create to protect yourself from discomfort, failure, or effort. They are not real obstacles, they are illusions you've convinced yourself to believe. To stop making excuses, you must first become aware of them. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself and the language you use. When you hear yourself saying, I can't, or it's because of, stop and ask yourself if that's really true. Is it an actual barrier, or is it an excuse? More often than not, you'll find that it's the latter. Becoming aware of your excuses is the first step to breaking free from them. Once you recognize them for what they are, you can begin to challenge and replace them with empowering beliefs and actions.
Excuses often stem from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort. It's easier to say, I can't do it, because then to face the possibility of falling short or being criticized. But fear is not a valid reason to hold yourself back.
Fear is a signal that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where growth happens. When you stop making excuses, you confront your fears head on and refuse to let them dictate your actions. You learn to embrace the discomfort of taking risks and trying new things, because you understand that's how you grow and achieve your goals. Another common source of excuses is a lack of confidence. When you don't believe in yourself, it's easy to find reasons why you can't succeed. You tell yourself that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or experienced enough, and these excuses become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. Confidence is built by taking action despite your doubts and fears. When you stop making excuses and start taking small steps toward your goals, you prove to yourself that you are capable, and your confidence grows with every step. One of the most damaging aspects of excuses is that they rob you of time. Every moment spent making excuses is a moment that could have been spent taking action. Time is your most precious resource, and excuses waste it. They keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction, waiting for the perfect conditions or the right moment that never comes. When you stop making excuses, you stop waiting and start doing, you realize that there will never be a perfect time. And the best time to start is always now. Action is the antidote to excuses, and every small step you take moves you closer to your goals. Excuses also prevent you from taking responsibility for your life. They allow you to shift the blame onto external factors rather than owning your choices and outcomes. But responsibility is the foundation of empowerment. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge that you have the power to change your circumstances. You stop focusing on what you can't control and start focusing on what you can. You recognize that while you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself, it's about taking ownership of your life and your future. To stop making excuses, you must adopt the mindset of problem solving. Instead of focusing on why you can't do something, focus on how you can. Ask yourself, what can I do with what I have right now, or how can I overcome this obstacle? When you shift your focus from limitations to possibilities, you open yourself up to solutions. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than barriers to your success. A problem-solving mindset empowers you to take action even in the face of difficulties and move forward despite the obstacles. Another way to stop making excuses is to surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Excuses thrive in environments of negativity and complacency. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses themselves or accept your excuses without question, it's easy to fall into the same patterns. But when you surround yourself with driven, positive, and solution-oriented individuals, you're inspired to hold yourself to a higher standard. These people won't let you settle for excuses. They'll encourage you to push past them and strive for your best. Your environment plays a significant role in your mindset, so choose it wisely. Accountability is another powerful tool for overcoming excuses. When you hold yourself accountable to your goals and actions, you're less likely to let excuses get in the way. Accountability can come in many forms, from setting clear goals and tracking your progress to sharing your commitments with others who will hold you to them. The act of writing down your goals and checking in on them regularly creates a sense of responsibility and urgency. Sharing your goals with someone you trust adds an extra layer of accountability, as you're now answerable not just to yourself but to someone else who believes in your potential. Excuses also lose their power when you focus on why is your purpose, your reason for pursuing your goals. It's the driving force behind your actions and the motivation that keeps you going when things get tough. When your why is strong enough, it becomes bigger than your excuses. It gives you the strength to push past your fears, doubts, and discomfort. To stop making excuses, connect deeply with your why. Remind yourself of what's at stake and what you stand to gain by taking action. Let your purpose fuel your determination and keep you moving forward. Stopping excuses doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks. Life will always throw obstacles in your path, and some of them will be out of your control. But even in the face of challenges, you have a choice to make excuses or to find a way forward. When you choose to stop making excuses, you adopt the mindset of resilience. You learn to adapt, to persevere, and to keep going no matter what. You understand that setbacks are not reasons to give up, but opportunities to learn and grow. Resilience is the antidote to excuses, and it's a skill you build by refusing to quit. Ultimately, stopping excuses is about taking action. Action is what breaks the cycle of excuses and creates momentum. When you take action, even small action, you shift your focus from what's holding you back to what's propelling you forward. Action builds confidence, creates opportunities, and moves you closer to your goals. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about taking the first step and trusting that the next steps will reveal themselves as you go. When you stop making excuses and start taking action, you transform your life one step at a time. The journey to success begins with the courage to commit. Commitment is not a casual decision or a fleeting feeling. It's a deep, unwavering promise to yourself that you will do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. It's the moment you decide that no matter how hard it gets, no matter what obstacles arise, you will stay the course. Commitment is the foundation of greatness because it transforms your intentions into actions, and your dreams into reality. Without it, even the best plans and the greatest ambitions will remain unfulfilled. When you commit, you eliminate excuses. There's no room for if or maybe when you're truly committed. You don't say, I'll try or I'll do it when I have time. You say, our commitment is about taking full ownership of your choices and outcomes. It's about stepping into a mindset where failure is not an option, where giving up is not on the table. This level of dedication requires you to push past doubt, fear, and uncertainty. It requires you to trust yourself and believe that you have what it takes to succeed, even when the odds are stacked against you. True commitment means showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel. Motivation may come and go, but commitment keeps you moving forward. It's easy to be enthusiastic at the beginning of a journey when the vision of success is fresh and exciting. But what happens when the excitement fades, when the challenges mount and the progress seems slow? That's when commitment matters most. It's the discipline to keep going, to keep putting in the work, even when it's hard, boring, or inconvenient. Commitment doesn't rely on emotion, it relies on resolve. It's a decision you make every day, no matter what. Commitment requires you to sacrifice. You can't say yes to everything and expect to reach your goals. You have to prioritize what matters most and be willing to let go of the things that don't serve your purpose. This might mean sacrificing time, comfort, or even relationships that hold you back. It might mean staying in on a Saturday night to work on your goals instead of going out. It might mean waking up earlier, working longer, or saying no to distractions. Sacrifice is the price of commitment, but it's a price worth paying for the life you want to create. When you commit, you embrace challenges as part of the process. Too often, people give up at the first sign of difficulty, thinking that obstacles mean they're not cut out for success. But challenges are not a sign to stop, they're a sign to grow. Commitment means leaning into the hard times, finding solutions, and refusing to quit. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. When you commit, you see challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. You understand that the path to success is rarely straight or easy, but it's always worth it. Commitment also means staying consistent. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of small, consistent actions taken over time. It's about doing the work day in and day out, even when you don't see immediate results. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum creates progress. When you commit, you trust the process and stay focused on the long-term vision, even when the short-term outcomes are uncertain. You understand that every small step counts, and that persistence is the key to achieving anything worthwhile. Consistency is the evidence of commitment, and it's what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. To truly commit, you must align your actions with your goals. It's not enough to say you're committed, your behavior must reflect it. This means being intentional about how you spend your time, energy, and resources. It means setting clear goals and creating a plan to achieve them. It means holding yourself accountable and staying disciplined even when it's tempting to stray off course. Commitment requires you to be honest with yourself about what you want and what you're willing to do to get it. It's not about perfection, it's about progress and staying true to your purpose. One of the most powerful aspects of commitment is its ability to inspire others. When people see your dedication, your perseverance, and your refusal to give up, they're motivated to do the same. Commitment is contagious. It creates a ripple effect that can impact everyone around you. Whether it's your family, your team, or your community, your commitment sets an example and raises the standard for what's possible. When you commit to your goals, you're not just transforming your own life, you're inspiring others to believe in themselves and their potential. Commitment also helps you build confidence. Every time you honor your commitments, you prove to yourself that you're capable of following through. This creates a sense of self-trust and belief in your ability to achieve your goals. Conversely, every time you break a commitment to yourself, you weaken your confidence and make it harder to stay on track. Commitment is about keeping the promises you make to yourself, no matter how small. Each promise kept is a step toward becoming the person you want to be. And it reinforces the belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. To stay committed, it's essential to connect with your why. Your why is your purpose, your reason for pursuing your goals. It's what gives your commitment meaning and keeps you motivated when the journey gets tough. When you have a strong why, you're willing to endure challenges, make sacrifices, and stay the course. Your why is the anchor that keeps you grounded and focused, even in the face of setbacks. To strengthen your commitment, remind yourself daily of why you started and what you're working toward. Let your why fuel your determination and guide your actions. Commitment also requires resilience. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you face setbacks, failures, or disappointments. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to adapt, and to keep moving forward despite adversity. Commitment doesn't mean you won't face challenges, it means you'll find a way to overcome them. It's about staying strong in the face of difficulty and refusing to let setbacks derail your progress. Resilience is built through commitment, and it's what allows you to persevere and ultimately achieve your goals. Another important aspect of commitment is patience. In a world that values instant gratification, commitment teaches you the importance of delayed rewards. Success takes time, effort, and persistence. It requires you to stay focused on the bigger picture and trust that your hard work will pay off in the end. Patience is not passive, it's active and intentional. It's about continuing to put in the work, day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. When you commit, you develop the patience to stay the course and the belief that your efforts will lead to success. Commitment also means being adaptable. The path to success is rarely linear, and you may need to adjust your plans along the way. Being committed doesn't mean being rigid, it means being flexible and open to change while staying true to your goals. It's about finding new ways to move forward when your original plan doesn't work. Adaptability allows you to navigate obstacles, seize opportunities, and keep progressing no matter what. When you're truly committed, you're willing to pivot, innovate, and do whatever it takes to stay on track. Finally, commitment is about taking action. It's not enough to think about your goals or talk about them. You have to take consistent, meaningful action to make them a reality. Action is what turns dreams into accomplishments and intentions into outcomes. When you commit, you don't wait for the perfect moment or ideal conditions. You start where you are with what you have. You understand that progress is made one step at a time, and each step brings you closer to your goals. Commitment is not passive, it's active and intentional, and it requires you to show up every day and do the work.